And we're up and running.
All right, hey everybody, welcome to the pregame show for the live stream where we're getting everything ready to go. And as I actually have most of my stuff all ready to go, then I'm in pretty good shape. The missus, you have all your stuff ready to
Sure, let's go with that.
go? Oh, well, you know what? I lied. Oh, don't know if you heard that beer opening, but now I'm ready to go.
I think I'm tied to my computer chair. There we go.
That's probably a good idea.
Both
Tied.
literally and figuratively.
Hmm. All right, so getting ready to go. I've got my notes out in front of me. The
Hi, Tim.
missus. Oh, yes, that's the part I need to do. I need to go to YouTube. And it says we're upcoming. And it says we're live. Okay.
Every week we go through this. Every week.
Yes. And Quizzer.
Hey, Quizzer. So it's
And
fantastic when we sit
Codex.
here and don't talk at all.
I got to type so fast because everybody's showing up
Oh,
all
okay.
at
You're
once.
answering the chat, so you're telling me as though
Yes.
I'm the one who has to type.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's talk
Oh,
about the weather. Winter
apparently
has
I have an
winter.
echo.
Oh, I'm not hearing it.
Hmm. Let me check something
I'm
real.
not saying it's not there. I'm just saying I don't hear it.
All right. Check, check. Oh, I can see why I would have that. Why would I have that? Say something, dear.
Something, dear.
This is fascinating because the only place I have an echo is on. Is no, that's not better.
See, and I don't hear any difference on my end.
Test, test, test. Yeah, I'm coming out of my own speakers too. That's the problem.
I cannot control what you're doing on your end.
Wow, this is the first time I've
Quizzer
had
says
both.
it's better though.
Okay. Is it acceptable?
Quizzer, I believe that question was directed at you. Codex says the phone knows you're alive, but the TV does not.
The phone is a lie. Oh, wait, the phone is the truth. Yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed is it comes alive at different times because I'm using the desktop.
It's the magic of the internet.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Who knows how it really works? I have no idea. You might tell me you just wave a wand and say, "Behold, you shall now commence the podcast." And I would go,
Yes,
"Yeah, that sounds like that's probably how it happens."
you shall not
Yeah,
pass.
I would accept that. So I was going to talk about the weather since apparently you're typing and not talking at all.
I am talking.
Oh, a little bit.
Carry on.
I was so disappointed. I came home tonight and the heater was on in my house. So disappointing. Hi, Mark.
Hi.
All right. Well, this is cool. Codex says we have big screen sound tonight. So,
Awesome.
yeah, all right.
Here,
So,
I got to play Mark in. He's here.
all right. Well, it is just about that time. You ready to go?
Maybe, maybe not. Who can say? When I hit the button, that's the only time we'll know.
Well, well, hit the button. It's that time.
All right, let's do this thing. Maybe.
What?
Told you.
What?
Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and dance.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome, everyone, to the 149th live edition of Bombs Advance and Wednesday Rants. As always, I am your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark.
Hey, everyone.
And the missus.
Hello, everybody.
I didn't even talk over to you tonight. See?
I know. What's wrong with you?
Okay. Remember to like and subscribe. Those are things that would theoretically allow the YouTube algorithm to boost us, but why are we kidding?
I know. Who are we kidding?
Our podcast literally has the word bomb in it. How's the past week treated everyone? Mark?
Oh, it's the weekend was good. Work's been really hectic, so
Is that good?
hectic not in a good way.
Ooh, well. Oh. Motion is good. Motion is good, but apparently a little bit too much right before Thanksgiving. Big plans for the Thanksgiving?
No.
Oh, all right. The missus, do we have big plans for Thanksgiving?
Not that I know of. I mean, that might change sometime in the next week or so. I do have a funny story for you. Would you like to hear it? It is podcast related.
I want to hear that, but after we answer this question.
Okay.
Next Wednesday is the night before Thanksgiving. Are we a go?
I'm not doing anything.
Mark?
On next Wednesday?
Yeah.
I think that it'll probably be good.
All right, it's a go time. It's a go for next week. So just letting everyone know in advance, next week we will be here.
Woohoo! Hooray!
I mean, provided the world has lived that long. So tell your podcast story.
Certainly. So oftentimes when I get on, and start putting all the stuff together for the podcast, I take a quick glance at the dashboard on YouTube to see if we have any new comments. And behold, we had a new one on last week's episode. And the comment was, well, I came here to listen to this podcast because I thought it would be similar to Wilder, Wealthy, and Wise, but the podcast is a drag. So my response, and this is from Tom, and so my response was, I'm sorry, we will try to use smaller words in the future so you can keep up. But he noticed us! Hooray!
I choose. It's in the comment, but it's a comment. Coda says,
We'll talk more slowly for you, Tom.
and it's a quizzer asking the good questions. Will we be issuing a pardon to the B&B turkey? Perhaps. That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And Codex says, make mom watch. Yeah,
There you
that
go.
sounds like
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
We'll actually try to put some effort into it next week.
Okay. Well, so do you have more podcast story, or was that the podcast?
No, that was
story?
the podcast story. I just thought it was funny.
So, do we have an on this day in history sounder?
No. What did you not get when I told you I have been so busy this week? I have barely had time to do my actual job. I mean, between all my napping and my just farting around?
Can you just make something up? Sing in the voice of an angel on this day in history.
Okay, let me see. Dun, 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 dun. On this day in history.
I think you should clip that and use it for the next time.
You like
on
that
this day in
All
history,
right.
in 1820, the whaling ship Essex was attacked by a whale and sunk on this day and sunk in the Southern Pacific.
You'd think I'd have seen that one coming.
Only 8 of the 20 men on board survived, and they had to resort to cannibalism. And this inspired what novel?
Little Women?
Mark?
Pride and Prejudice.
I was expecting someone to say the actual answer, which is Moby Dick, which was my backup answer was to say, no, sorry, it was The Cat in the Hat. That Cat in the Hat keeps coming back. So that's the first thing that happened on this day in history. On November 20th, in 1958, Muppets Inc. was formed by formerly living human being Jim Henson. So there you go.
Conspiracy theory, Jim Henson was actually a Muppet.
Well,
actually, I heard he was half Muppet. That's why he didn't fit in really with either crowd. It was the oppression he faced was awful.
Well, the real sad
Thank God
story is
things have
that
gotten better.
after he died, they skinned him and he's still a Muppet. Oh, I'm going to hell for that one. All right. Any on this day in history commentary, Mark?
Me?
Hmm.
No.
Okay.
Sorry,
That's why
I've
he's
got
the
an
best
audio
color man in the
issue,
business,
so
ladies and gentlemen. No.
um no, I mean what happened? I mean, I don't know what happened in this day in history. I guess
What?
I lived through many, many years of this
What?
day in history.
No, no, no. I was wondering if you had any commentary on this day in history.
Oh, commentary? No, I
Yes.
don't.
All
I
right.
don't. You surprised me. I'm like a deer in the headlights,
Okay.
completely overcome by shock and awe.
A quizzer notes everybody thought Oscar the Grouch was a Muppet. Little did they know. He was pretty upset about where people were sticking their hands. All right. Moving along to Conversation Street.
Oh, that would be my cue, wouldn't it? I keep losing my mouse.
Yeah, that's funny. Words keep meaning things.
I know, right?
And now it's time for us to take down the smooth sidewalks of Conversation Street.
Now, before you get started on this, speaking of mice, I just recently heard this story, and I don't know exactly where it took place, but we'll say it's California, just, because it probably was. So a guy comes into the local pet rescue, humane society, and says, I've got like 200 mice. The breeding kind of got out of control. I can't handle them anymore. Can I drop them off here? And they said, yeah, we can probably do that. Then the guy said, oh, did I say 200 mice? I mean 200 tanks full of mice. So far, he's dropped off about 500 mice, and there's many, many more to go.
500. Well, little did you know they were M1 Abrams tanks. So- Okay, Master
Well, see, that's a guy that someone needs to hook up with the guy who has too many pythons.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there'd be more pythons, and then eventually hungry pythons.
Then you just flush them down
Okay.
the toilet and the problem's solved, right?
All right, since
It's
you're
California,
ignoring
after all.
entirely the format of the show, Conversation Street, war. As befitting a podcast named Bombs and Bants, why not talk about global thermonuclear war, since that, appears to be what we're stumbling
Hooray!
towards. Yep. Sounds like we're one step stumbled closer since Biden unleashed the hounds and okayed deep strikes into Russia. So, there's that. Is our best hope that our descendants find our bones and name us something really badass? I mean, what would you like your skeleton to be named, Mark?
Skeletor.
Skeletor. That's not bad. The missus.
I think I'd like it to be named, Why Isn't My Computer Running Faster?
What?
Oh, OBS just popped up and told me low system resources may affect your audio quality. Try closing some applications to improve performance. The only applications I currently have running are my browser, the Zoom, and OBS. That's it. I can't close anymore. OBS.
Okay. Enough technical stuff. Let's get back to talking about something cheerful like nuclear war. So what would your what would
my
your
computer? I'm sorry. What?
Okay. All right, this just in: President Putin is up for peace discussions led by President Trump. So Putin has said that he's ready to talk peace and he's ready for Trump. Now I want to go back to when the invasion first occurred, and I said in relative anger, and this is like 100 podcasts ago, I said Trump could have stopped this with one phone call. Mark, do you think he can finish it with one phone call?
Well, I don't know if one phone call will suffice, but I think in the end he'll be able to finish it, assuming that the CIA doesn't try to do some runaround to feed weapons to Ukraine.
Yeah, and so the Europeans are talking about mobilizing 800,000 soldiers. I don't think there's that much testosterone in all of Europe. And I read an article indicating that Putin wants to. It was in the Mirror. There was an expert that said Putin wants to take over England and make learning Russian mandatory for their children. seriously, this is what the article said.
The
And
mayor
I'm
has
going,
become such a rag. Oh my God, it's as bad as the National Enquirer now.
well, yeah,
At
I'm
least
sorry,
some of the stories in the Enquirer are true every
well,
now and
does
then.
it make you look back to previous war propaganda and go, were we always lying about every bit of this?
Well, so I
Right?
heard a statistic today that said amongst the Ukrainian people who want to continue fighting the war, it's 38%. People who want to end the war and go to the negotiation table, 52%. I think they're tired of their sons dying.
I think
And I
so,
know
too.
that it really is going to disappoint Democrats who are always happy to send other people's children to die in wars. But, it looks like maybe Ukraine is done.
But don't you understand if we don't stop the if we
He'll
don't
take over Europe.
yes, all the children will be speaking Russian. So, there we go. All right. Well, I
Well,
have
perhaps we should, unlike what happened at the beginning of the Ukrainian war, should Russia start amassing troops on the border of some European country, Poland, for instance, say, maybe we'll talk about something. I don't. They're not going to teleport in to the city. I mean, if they could do that, they would have done that already, which would be pretty cool, right? But yeah.
okay. Mark, any further commentary on war?
Well, I mean, we could kill two birds with one stone and just threaten both sides, Ukraine and Russia. It may be a threat. I don't know. Maybe Russia wouldn't consider it a threat, but to send all of our illegals to Ukraine.
There we go. That would solve the problem. Send the
That would
illegals to
be
Ukraine and let them
inhumane
fight.
and a humanitarian crisis. It
Well,
has to be middle class white boys.
oh, okay. We can't. Well, maybe if we released all those spare mice in Ukraine, all the Haitians would go over there naturally to eat them.
The mice and the pythons.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
And since we don't have Jackass of the Week, you could even play the Meow Mix theme if you wanted to.
Oh, I can play the Meow Mix thing. Okay, sure, let's do that.
Meow 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 meow. Meow 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 meow.
Maybe that should just be our transition music from now on.
Oh, no. That's good for voting music. But we don't have Jackass of the Week.
We do not. They're just exhausted and left crying on the floor because they're going to be returned to slavery and they will have no control of their bodies. Matt Gaetz will want to impregnate them. They're just a mess.
Yeah, they're just a mess. So, that takes us to, do you have anything you would like to show us? Any memes or pictures?
Well, I have the stuff that you sent me. I don't know if that's what you mean or not.
Well, if you want to show it, you can show it. If not, we can move right along.
Well, we could do a few right now.
Go for it.
Let's just do a couple, just to whet your appetite. I guess I don't understand that. I mean, we couldn't burn them because they were actually witches?
That's what they're saying.
Okay, all right, just checking.
But now they're self-identifying, so we.
Well, that's good to know. We'll know where to find you next time. Thanks.
Why couldn't they be burned though? Was there like something about them that
Well, because they were
was
witches.
inflammable?
Because they were
They weighed
witches.
They weighed the same as a duck.
Yes. And when you put them in the water, they floated. Is that the past tense of floated? Is it float or floated?
What?
Flotted. Yes, they flotted.
And the next meme?
It's already up there.
Yes,
Sneck
indeed.
says, I specifically requested the opposite of this.
Yep.
Can I see your manager?
Yes, next.
Oh, you want to do another one? Okay.
Yeah, sure, whatever you want to do.
How to avoid getting monkeypox.
Oh, yes. If only there was a way to avoid getting monkeypox. Oh, well.
Is that still a thing? I mean, we talked about it for like 10
they
minutes.
now call it Mpox.
Oh, okay, right. Didn't
But
want
it's
to
hard to
defend the
keep track
monkeys.
because the last thing I heard of was some seriously gross yeast or infection. It sounded like. It was-
No. I've already heard enough. Already heard enough.
that was circulating among a certain population that was also concerned about Mpox.
Oh my. All right. Well, moving along, it's time for 2 minutes of guns in 1 minute.
All right, you ready, Mark?
I think so.
All right, here we go.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
So, I recently saw an article. It was on the issue of is 380 good for defense, and I think the answer to that is really no, but it's
15 seconds.
not horrible. Well, it's not the worst thing. I mean, it works. As we know, what matters more than a lot of other factors is
30
hitting a
seconds.
critical area on the body. It has problems with penetration. So there you go.
Oh, now you got a tap dance to finish it off.
45 seconds.
No, there's advantages using 380, most of which is, you can be able to carry a smaller gun, which for people that work in an office
In
environment can be
3,
important.
2, 1, stop.
Well, I don't know, but smaller and less penetration, that probably doesn't sound like a winning combination for anyone.
You beat me to it.
Even the witches. All right. Well, Jiminy Christmas, since we don't have any of the Jackasses, that takes us to think real fast.
Maybe. There we go.
So you're lucky. I was just going to end with a no.
And with a no?
Yeah, I was just going to throw out the question and say no, and then just let the clock run down for the.
Oh, there you go. Well,
for the 55 seconds.
I almost, here's what I almost threw at you. I almost said, hey, Mark, given that we're this close to nuclear war, let's have 2 minutes of nuclear war survival skills in 60 seconds. So,
Duck and cover.
yeah. So, think real fast. InfoWars was sold, but Alex Jones was bold. He asked Ho and found the bid wasn't low, so now the auction is void. The Onion apparently was not the high bidder, and the judge called shenanigans. Mark, do you think that Alex Jones will get to keep selling iodine?
Probably. I mean, I thought he'd already opened or set up a new website.
Well, he did, but he got the other one back. It turns out there were two bidders. The Onion bid $1 million and change, but the person who runs the vitamin empire for Alex Jones bid $2 million and change.
Oh.
And so rather than taking the $2 million bid, they took the $1 million bid. And the judge says, no, you can't do that. So
Interesting. I knew that the sale had been thrown out. I didn't know why though.
Yep.
Huh.
The missus, would Alex Jones be an amusing White House press secretary?
Absolutely.
All right, you have to do your impression of Alex Jones as press secretary.
The frogs are insane! They're sorry, they're gay. I misspoke. No more comments. No more questions.
What do you think about Sandy Hook? Oh, we better not go there. Anyway, Texas offers Trump 1,400 acres to store illegals.
Try some Absolute Orange. Make you feel better.
Officers, tangy tangerine.
I can
Offers
have an
Trump-
erection for 16 hours. That's why I'm standing behind the podium right now.
Okay. Texas offers. I guess that might be Michelle Obama's problem. Okay. Texas offers
Put a book in front of it.
1,400 acres to store illegals as he gets ready to ship them back to parts unknown. Mark, what would you name this 1,400 acre ranch? And why is your answer the Trump dump?
Oh, well, I wasn't going to name it the Trump dump, but that's actually a good name.
Well,
I think I could go with that.
Well, what would you suggest?
Well, I hadn't thought about it, but I guess Camp Happy.
Welcome to Fantasy Island.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Where your fantasies don't come true. Um,
All right. The missus.
Bye land. There we go.
The missus. How many illegals could we store there at the Trump dump, knowing that most illegals are only 4'6" tall?
They stack pretty well, so I'd say between 4 and 6 ricks. Oh, and by the way, because this is a specific...
That's Ricardo's. That's Ricardo.
Yes. This is a specific, by request of Quizzer, and it is this. They're turning the frogs gay! There you go, Quizzer.
There you go.
I think that's enough room to store all the illegals. I mean, we don't have to store them comfortably.
Yes. And 1,400 acres?
Well, I mean, when Texas and Mexico were fighting that little war they had between the two of them, Montezuma only had that was his name, right?
Montezuma?
What the hell's
Santa
his name?
Ana.
Yeah,
Santa
whatever.
Ana.
Whatever.
Good heavens.
Whatever. That one Mexican guy. You know who I'm talking about.
Santa Ana.
Yeah, when he brought his troops there, he only had a million troops, and the reason was they only had 2 cars.
Okay, we're moving along.
But each illegal only needs 18 square feet to lay down.
Danger Will Robinson. A dangerous triple bomb cyclone will unleash torrents of rain and wind in California and the Pac Northwest. Mark, why did the Chinese ruin everything?
I don't know. I was really ticked off because the wind came through and it was blowing crap all over my backyard when I got home.
Why do you have crap in your backyard?
A lot of
Well,
dogs.
it's crap now that the wind blew it all over.
Large dogs with a big appetite.
The missus, if
Eat
this
lots of meat.
if this triple bomb cyclone hits California, will it be known as a triple bong cyclone?
That's possible. Do you think? What are the odds it will muss Gavin Newsom's hair?
I think pretty low because he's got all the hair.
I think you're gonna have to say that again. We're dropping out on sound. I don't know if the online people are hearing that, but I'm hearing it. So.
Oh, okay. I said that I said that his hair is just an extruded plastic helmet that he puts on.
It's like the little hair that you get for the little Lego guys. So you can
Exactly.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
How do you get that from marijuana jokes? Okay. In 2023, Honduras...
By using a lot of marijuana. Yeah.
In 2023, Honduras went from a murder rate of 10 times the United States to less than the United States this year. Mark, do you think that locking up criminals might have something to do with that?
No, I think it has to do with them shipping him north to our border.
There you go. The missus, here's the important question. Would El Salvador be a good professional wrestling name?
Absolutely.
Now that Linda McMahon is head of the Department of Education. Can you imagine how much fun that's going to be? All right.
Hey, knock that shit off over there. Sorry, I thought my mic was muted. It was me yelling at the dogs. Hang on.
They only respond if you curse at them. All right.
They stopped.
All right. The pendulum swings along with other swinging things. Trans lawmaker Sarah, in quotes, McBride, says that it will use a dude's restroom if that's what the rules now say. And they do say that. Mark, is nature healing?
I sure hope so. But apparently Jaguar didn't get the news, the memo.
They're going full Bud Light.
Cars.
The missus?
Yeah.
Since when is being a dude a health condition?
I think it's being a woman that's the health condition.
No, it's just something to be ignored. All right. The U.S. Senator Mark Warner has warned Steam's CEO Gabe Newell of more intense government scrutiny. That's a quote. More intense government scrutiny if CEO Gabe Newell doesn't bend the knee and censor language, keywords, and accounts on the online gaming platform. Mark, do you think Senator Warner was absent today in civics when they talked about the whole First Amendment?
Uh, yes, and frankly, he had to just keep keep his frickin' nose out of other people's business.
Oh, if only had that Tim Walz quote. Mind your own damn business.
Don't you know? And Mrs. Why do
Boy,
Democrats
there's a
hate
guy
video?
who waddled back to Minnesota with his tail between his legs. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about what Tim Walz wants between his legs. The Mrs. Why do Democrats hate video games?
Attractive women and manly men. Neither one of those are welcome in the Democrat Party.
And neither one of those are welcome in video games when they're controlled by leftists.
That's
So
true.
you might be pretty close to it. Um, Website Blue Sky is the new watering hole for triggered lefties, as they simply have to leave X because, oh my gosh, Elon Musk is such a meanie and he's saying such mean things. Mark, remember a year and a half ago when Threads was going to be the Twitter killer?
Vaguely, yes.
The missus? Why won't Elon keep X as a leftist echo chamber?
Because he just is against free speech. And this whole time, when the Democrats talk about our democracy, that's what they really mean. Their democracy.
Yep, that's their free speech, and
Right.
I have statistics to that. Since all the lefties have gone to Blue Sky, the total reports of naughty activity went from 360,000 in the year 2023. Okay, so that's about, you think about it, that's about 1,000 a day, right? Guess how many since the lefties have invaded? How many reports of naughty activity they're getting?
X or Blue Sky?
Blue Sky,
Well, probably like twice that.
Yeah.
42 times that.
Wow.
42,000 reports a day.
Wow.
Okay. That's essentially reporting all of their users in about a 20 or 30-day period. So, yes, Blue Sky has gone into the full nanny state, honestly. And noting that, I just got to go. It's their hell. Let them live in it.
I
Babylon
think we
Beach.
just need to start referring to them as the bubble people because they want to live in a bubble. They're traumatized when they have to step outside of the bubble. God forbid they have to hear anyone who disagrees with them.
Well,
Bubble
and
people.
again, Amazon, the Babylon Bee started an account over there at Blue Sky, and they can't post anything because they're all deleted because of hate. So anything that the Babylon Bee posts is deleted because of hate. There you go.
Kodak says, is it just because they themselves are naughtier or just more caring? I think it's the second one. They're more caring.
Well, it's actually both because they can be as naughty as they want as long as they're supporting leftist causes, but they're also being more caring because anything that from the right will be shown as that's just evil. It's kind of
Well,
like
and even if you are a lefty and you say something that's to the right of that person, they'll report you.
Mhm. I'm going to note that in our state, which went like 75% for Donald Trump, I went to the Reddit for our state, and it's all leftists. And anyone who makes a right-wing comment on it is immediately downvoted. Reddit is an echo chamber, just like Blue Sky is.
Bubble people, yeah.
I like Jim Notes.
I saw that too.
Yeah. Turns out eat, shit, and die constitutes violent language. Oh, well.
You should have tried tacking of natural causes, of course, on the end
Yes.
of that. Yeah.
Or after a fair trial.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Jim, you have to tell us who did you tell that to? When it's dressed as Zelensky. Thank you. All right. Speaking of Zelensky and war, 2 undersea cables on the Baltic Sea have been cut. These are data transmission cables. Mark, is it aliens?
No, it's Chinese, just like that gas line that was ripped up last year.
Oh, yes, exactly. The missus, remember when they tried to blame the Nord Stream explosion on the Russians?
I know, right? Well, everything the
But
Russians have done, of course. Excuse me.
and I'm going to say, I fully and 100% agree. It was the Russians cutting those cables. 100%. It was the Russians.
Well,
But
I mean,
the Russians didn't blow up their own pipeline.
to be fair, yeah, I did see a post on X from I think it was the Finnish, either a Finnish or Swedish newspaper, but they indicated the captain of the ship. So the ship was Chinese, but the captain was Russian. So maybe it was the Russians.
Okay. All right. The UK decided that they will tax all farmers until they can't afford their farms anymore, so the government can more equitably allocate the land and also can build housing for illegal immigrants. Mark, where did the British think food comes from? Apartment buildings?
No, the local grocer.
There you
Well,
go.
very soon it will all come from the U.S., which is good news for American farmers.
Oh. And then the missus. Do you think that this rule applies to the king?
Does the king have farms?
The king has lots of land,
I mean, but they
like
don't grow. He
huge
doesn't.
tracts.
It's like the entire royal family. They don't grow anything useful,
Well, not personally. They lease it out and they lease it for hunting and they lease it for other purposes. That's a huge income stream for them.
and they grow flowers and stuff. I guess
Hmm.
flowers are pretty, but you can't eat them.
Uh, yes, yes, they do that. Quizzer notes that food comes from ant farms. So that's probably about the case. And speaking of ant farms, Kamala Harris is being floated as a candidate for governor of California. Mark, would California be unburdened by what was?
Well, if they got rid of Newsom, I guess so.
The missus, do you think she'd realize she needed to actually get votes this time?
But who else are they going to vote for? It's not like they have Republicans in California. I mean, they do. They just don't allow them to come out of their caves or, run for office or anything. It's part of their electioneering laws.
All right, and our final little comment on Think Real Fast. Ellen DeGeneres moves to the UK. Yay! I love it when celebrities keep promises. Mark, are the celebrities deporting themselves?
Well, I hope so, but so far I've only actually heard of two that have actually moved out.
Oh, who? Who's the other?
Well, the Ellen DeGeneres, and then that shoot, what's her name? She was on that Desperate Housewives and the last season of I can't think of her name now.
It's a real powerhouse.
Household
Yeah, I
name.
mean,
Just not Mark's household.
Uh,
yeah, I mean, you still see her on television now and then, but my understanding she was moving out anyway because of her job. It wasn't really Trump per se, although I guess she made a comment about it at one, saying that it's because of Trump, but it was actually because of her. She does so much Spanish language television that she was. They were planning on relocating to Mexico and well, alternating between Mexico and Spain.
all right, I'm sure she'll be missed. The missus, do you think will you miss Ellen?
No, not at all.
Do you think Trump will?
He might.
No, I don't think anyone will miss her.
All right. Well, that was Think Real Fast. And your mouse isn't moving. That's when you're supposed to do a thing.
What am I supposed to do? This?
The outro. Yeah.
Okay.
Think real fast.
All right. All right. And the last thing I've got for the night. Would you like to do your pictures or shall we do I Heard It on the X?
Oh, well, let's do the pictures first.
All right.
Okay, a little cute for today. Love, we has it.
Oh my gosh, what's that raccoon doing to the dog?
I have a friend I'm trying to convince him to get a raccoon. Because I think it would cute. They're cute, but I think it would be a total mess, and so that's why I want to see it happen, just not in my house.
Yes.
Yeah. Then this one. All right, and finally the last one here. This is about 2 minutes long. It's a video, but it's definitely worth it. And these are Russians, by the way. No sound, but it is subtitled. There's a cat in the tree. Trying to get the cat out of the tree. Bottle did not work. There's the cat. Why do you think that the toilet paper would work better?
Well, he's trying to get the rope to the tree so
Okay.
that they can shake the tree.
Oh, I see. I thought he was trying to knock the cat out of the tree.
Well, no, not with the toilet paper, but with the rope tied to it, so that
Right. So now they have a
They
hold
got-
of the tree and they're shaking the tree.
yes.
See, here I thought it would be quite funny if if the rope accidentally slipped and they just yeeted that cat. Cat would not find it very funny. There's a cat who land on his feet. Here, I'll take this axe and throw it at the cat. Literally, that's what I thought he was going to do. Do you have an axe? We could throw an axe at the cat.
And over goes the tree. Down goes Foreman.
And it
Down
lands
goes-
on the power lines. So the cat's
We have
still okay.
acquired-
There's the
we have
cat.
acquired the electricity.
And cat touches the power line.
The cat's fine. I won't say that there was no animal hurt, but
Well, he it was stunned a little bit. Oh, there you go. And that's all I got.
all right.
That's your cue to do something.
Oh, it is. It's time for I Heard It on the X.
There it is.
All right. Hickey Naily says she does not approve of Tulsi. Why? The Department of National Intelligence is not a place where Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer. Actual quote, Mark.
Okay, Tulsa. I don't know what to say about that. That's well, I mean, I'll have to say, I guess I could say, well, why not? They've been having Iranian sympathizers in there since the Obama administration, but
They have indeed, and Chinese sympathizers since the Clinton administration. So, all right, the missus, you have any comment on that one?
Actually, I didn't hear the quote because the audio was dropping out for me. So, you might do that
Hickey
again.
Hickey Naily says she does not approve of Tulsi. The Department of National Director of National Intelligence is not a place for a Russian, Iranian, Syrian, Chinese sympathizer.
Right? Yeah. That's
My take is not having Hickey Naily in the administration is a great idea.
yep. Same thing.
And Kodak said that the sound was garbled.
Yep.
As well when I said that. So I have said it again, so you'll hear it. All right. And then the last little thing I heard on the X, the UK Parliament is planning on summoning Elon Musk to testify about X spreading disinformation. Mark?
well, again, we're back to the difference between our democracy and then democracy that actually, represents the people. And so, yeah, it's the same thing, disinformation is just anything that they don't agree with.
Facts that are inconvenient to their worldview.
Yeah, they're petty tyrants, and they don't want to be exposed as such. So,
The missus, any comment on that?
Well, I think were I in Elon's shoes, my response might be, well, I'm an American citizen now, and America fought an entire war so that we don't answer to you people anymore. So, fuck off.
Yeah. Yes, and Elon, I mean, he's worth $500 billion. If there's anybody who can say that, he can.
Remember
All right.
what happened the last time a country got
Well-
pissy with him for X? He just shut it off. Okay, no
well,
more for you.
the thing is, they really need to be a little bit more careful than they are because, Musk has got Trump's ear.
He
The two
does.
of them are being real buddy right now, and so yeah, they may think of Musk as a private citizen. They can just push him around however they want, despite his billions of dollars. And but he, Trump could lean on him too.
Well, keep in mind, who's more important to the Trump administration, Elon or Marco Rubio? Elon.
Right.
Yeah.
hmm
All
Who's
right.
more important to the Trump administration, Elon or the British?
All right. Well, let's close this one up, dear. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. On that note, I'm John Wilder, and I look forward to being here on the pre-Thanksgiving holiday spectacular. Wilder out.
And this is Mark, and I approve of this message.
Ah, you stole my thunder on that one, Mark. Well played, sir. Well played. The rest of you? Oh, and it just dies. There we go. Y'all come back here. We'll talk to you before Turkey Day.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever